Good morning, this is Babatune with Pennystocking 100 to 1000. Welcome back to the series where we take a fresh account on Webull, starting with just $100 and show you the journey it takes to grow that $100 into $1,000 over time. And we're back. Today is June 28, 2019. Marcus R. Green. And I say we are on 100 to 1000, but at this point we are at whatever all-time low my account is at to 1000, which is 28 right now. So we're doing we're having a rough time lately. I guess I kind of forget how much these stocks, especially these biotechs, but these stocks in general tend to just dump very, very quickly, and we're getting caught up in the aftermath. So the reason I say that is because I got into PTN the other day. Let's actually show you that. That's what actually gave me this huge loss. We dropped 50% off of that, which was very, very rough. Let's see, PTN. Okay, right here. So we lost 27.56 on that. So that was really, really poor from us. And okay, we bought it on the 24th. We held it. We tried to hold it a couple days. We bought it on Monday. We tried to hold it a couple days just to see if it can rebound. Today, Friday, I think it's actually got back up to about $1.16, something like that. $1.19. So it's trying a little bit, but it's a pump and dump. We got in the pre-market that day at 4:05, like right as soon as the pre-market began, basically, because we saw the potential. You had a very small window of time to get out, and I was up maybe 7% at one time. That was the best that I was going to get. It was at $2.18. That was the top at the day, at that pre-market. It was very, very short-lived. I'm gonna go into the chart in a second, but I sold this on Wednesday. I finally went ahead and sold it on Wednesday towards the close at 347. And we got out at $1.01 a share. We just wanted to give it a couple days just to see if it could rebound. And I don't know why I did that, because I know these stocks very seldom do rebound after they drop really hard like that. It's just pretty much done. And I know this already. But stubbornness kicks in every now and again, and it's something that just helps to humble you. Losing money will help to humble you. The market will humble you if you get out of line. And so we'll just take this as a learning experience. And so, if we can look at the charting on Monday, the 24th, where I got in that pre-market right here. So you see it gapped up. It was around the 130s. It gapped up here in the pre-market to this was the after hours here, so we missed that. We went to 164, but this is where it gapped up at the next day. Right here. So you can see the low was at $2. Yeah, so the low was $2. We got in at $2.03. Like I said, you had a very small window of time to really lock in the top of this. I should have realized that this thing had already gapped up quite a bit. There wasn't much room left to go. It was kind of, I guess you could say, it was kind of a chase. But there wasn't it really wasn't anything on that Monday morning. There wasn't really anything else special to trade at the time, so I just went ahead and just chose to jump in on this. So sometimes the best trade is no trade, to be honest. If you don't see anything with a lot of value in it, just don't trade. It's not a big deal. I didn't actually make a day trade Friday. I have 2 day trades right now in the vault, but I opted out of doing the day trade Friday, but we'll get into that later. So like I said, you had a very small window of time to get out here. 218 was the high. I was right around here. So I was up maybe 7%, but I just decided I wasn't quite my threshold of where I wanted to get out at. I like to see, it's not always possible, but I like to see about 10% or more in gains, and we didn't quite get there. So, I probably would have sold around 230, something like that, if I could have, but we just never got there. It was a pump and dump. Died out on the day. This is where I should have been out on this huge red drop here, after the open. Oh, this is actually 630, so. But even so on here, I was going to give it a little more room to maybe try to bounce back towards the open. This was 6:30 in the morning, so I decided to give it a little bit more chance to try to bounce back towards the open. 7 o'clock is when a lot of people started to come in, like TD Ameritrade traders started to come in. It did get a small push up to $2.04, but that was it. Very short-lived, and then dropped back down. 9 o'clock, the Robin Hooders come in. And we actually didn't see any movement on that time frame, as you can see. So and then on the open, it just dropped pretty hard. So This is where we pretty much should have really decided to get out after the Robin Hooders did not boost it up. We should have just cut our losses right around here in the 160s, 170s, probably 170s. I was thinking about it. I had my finger on the sell button. I just did not, stubbornness kicked in, so I didn't lock that in. I didn't cut that loss, so of course we ended up selling at $1.01 on Wednesday. So that sucks. That's unfortunate. So that was that horrible 50% loss there. Next, we got into an overnight. Right now, we're just trying to rack up some wins to get back in the game because we just have to try to wipe out this red. And while we do want to wipe out the red, we don't want to just do it all willy-nilly. We don't want to just jump into anything, right? So we want to look at some things that have good val in it. So I got into PECK, PECK. We didn't actually make much money on that. It was really like a break even. So 37 cents on that one. Just 3 shares at $8.93. This was an overnight play, so not a big deal. We got in on that Wednesday. And after hours at 4.18, we saw the huge move up. I was actually looking at this towards the close when it was around $6 a share. Because this stock has been kind of like iffy. It's been up and down. I think the first day it had the acquisition by Jensen, or the merger, or whatever it was, acquisition, I think it was. It went to as high as maybe $25, $26, something like that. Then it came right back down. So I was looking at this in the $6 region to see if it would be a nice, good buy, but I just did not choose to buy in that day until the after hours when it spiked up, which was okay to do it like that. But, that was pretty much the majority of the move. The 6 to 8, 6, 9, it got to 9-ish. That was the move. So, we got in here in the after hours, right around here when it got into the 8s like that. So we got in like 880, I think it was, and then we got out, 9. I think that's what it was. Yeah, no, 883, 893. So, we could have got out in the 9s, but I wanted to give it a little bit more room to possibly grow. Maybe I would have got out about $10 a share. We just never got there. We got to 960 that day. That was it in the pre-market, and it wasn't even like, huge. It was like 150 shares at 960. So, not a lot going on with this one here. So we just decided to go ahead and just take the win while we had it. And of course, this thing, drops pretty hard on the open. Pumps and dumps pretty much on the open. Goes back right back down to the 66s where it began. So you just have to be very careful with these kind of plays. I'm glad I got out when I did. So we just have to start trying to rack up some green like we did with this one. It wasn't much, 37 cents, but like a 1% win. But this was the catalyst for the move in the after hours. The PECK company announced a $17 million agreement to construct a portfolio of solar arrays. So, nothing really huge. It was a contract, but, nothing really huge to actually make this thing fly. So, pump and dump, as they mostly are, which we're going to have to start treating all of these like pump and dumps. And the next play we got into, nothing huge. This is like 53 cents we made on this one. FCEL. So we're just trying to get some wins back in the game. That's the important thing. Try to get some wins now. Not greed so hard. Get some wins. Read the chart really well. Understand what's going on. Understand the price action. And just get out if it doesn't look great. So that's what we did here. This was Thursday, 8:20 a.m. pre-market. We got in at 21 cents a share. And then we sold it, just 30 minutes later at 22 cents a share. It just wasn't doing much. I saw this thing get to about 23 cents that day, that morning. So, and then it just pretty much, people started locking in profits. It very quickly dropped back down. It touched 23 like a split second and dropped right back down to 22s. So I saw this was not a very, very good opportunity to make money. So it was trading the previous day at 14 cents. That was the low the previous day, and then it gapped up to around 18 cents. Then it pushed up to 22. So you got to realize some of these moves are actually good moves. You have to understand that. So that was the move right there. Even though it was only up maybe, 30, 40% maybe from its low the other day, that was this move. Sometimes that is all there is to it. And I realized that it didn't have much, give in it. I was hoping for maybe 30 cents a share, we just never got there, and I could tell we were never going to get there because, like I said, you see how quickly this candlestick, this wick touches this really quickly and drops right back down, and then the next couple candlesticks are just red. So pump and dump. Sometimes you have to take the win, even if it is small. 2% gain, whatever. It is what it is. Take the win. As you can see, it just pumped and dumped the rest of the day. On the open, it really tanked hard. I was watching it. It tanked hard. So I was glad I got out. Possible re-entry here after it dropped so hard on its first tick to 18 cents and it bounced back up to, 21. So possible re-entry there for maybe 10% gains. But, I was thinking about it, but I was like, it's not worthwhile. It's not really going to be worthwhile. So I left that alone. Took that one-day trade as a win and moved on. That was really the end of my trades for this week 9. That was the end of my trades for this week. That was it. So 3% in gainers and 50% in losses. So not a great week, obviously, but we will get back in there next week and just keep making these wins happen back to back and gain some consistency back in the vault before we start getting greedy. Gain some consistency and we'll go from there. I believe there was a play that happened earlier. I forgot the name of it. Let's see. Should be in the active or the top gainers. FRSX. This was unfortunate. This was the play of the day. It was unfortunate. I got up. I didn't actually set an alarm clock or anything like that. I just pretty much allowed myself to wake up. My body just naturally woke up at 9:32, so I had just pretty much got up around where this thing started to spike up, right? But I didn't know that at first because I had to open up my computer and all of that and start the software and everything. So, by the time I started looking at this, looking at Webull and trying to see what was the top gainers going on so far, this thing was already at $2.30 a share, something like that. So it already had jumped up maybe 40%, something like that, 50%. And then by then I had to log into Webull, start the trade window and all that. By the time it was already 250, 260. So I said, I'm not going to chase this thing. I missed it. Sometimes you have a very small window to get in. And of course, the top of this candlestick was 284. So, even if I chased it, I only would have made, maybe 10%, if that. So I decided against getting into that, chasing that. So, I watched it all day, but of course, did not make a move. It's fine. We'll have 2 more day trades starting next week, Monday. We'll see what we can do then. We only want high val plays. We want plays with a lot of value in them. This was a play with high value, but it just, like I said, I was just too late and I didn't want to chase it, so I left it alone. So we'll see what we can do next week, see if we can get some good winners to wipe out that 50% losses and eventually climb back to 100 and beyond there. So that was the week for the 9-week recap. So you can see where the account is now, $28. We are trying. We just have been very, very against our rules and stuff like that lately. We've been getting a little bit, undisciplined. And that's what happens when you do that every now and again. It happens to everybody, even some of the most established traders. It's just going to happen sometimes, So, but we have to, break free from that mentality consistently in order to see some gains, some profit. So we'll see what happens next week. And until then, we just encourage you all to stay motivated, stay inspired, study hard, and penny stocks will reward you.